The woman deliberately set the air conditioner to the lowest temperature, then poured her husband a glass of carefully prepared hot mulled wine. Next, in order to create an alibi, she intentionally took her daughter downstairs to play. Sure enough, when she returned home at the prearranged time, her husband had just suffered another heart attack and died tragically at home. However, while everyone watched the woman weep bitterly over this, no one knew that she had been waiting for this moment for 10 whole years. It turned out that 10 years ago, after school, he happily went to pick up his mother, who was running a street stall, but unexpectedly witnessed her being murdered in public by a masked man. In his shock and horror, the only thing he remembered was the masked man holding a ring that he kept turning over in his hand, and this memory haunted him like a nightmare for 10 whole years. Fortunately, after growing up, he met a husband who loved him deeply, and together they had a sensible and adorable daughter, which greatly healed the wounds of his childhood. But just when he thought this happiness would last forever, one day, he suddenly saw on his husband's hand the very ring that had haunted him for 10 years. Seeing that ring, identical to the one from back then, his smile instantly faded. So, after learning that his husband had a hidden heart condition, he began to put his plan into action. After that, every day as soon as he woke up, he would turn on the air conditioner and hand his husband a cup of warmed red wine, then leave the house with the excuse of taking their daughter out to play. During this time, to make sure nothing went wrong, he even used his phone to set the air conditioner to the lowest temperature. And to buy more time, he deliberately struck up a conversation with the neighbors. Meanwhile, after the husband at home drank the hot red wine, the cold air from the air conditioner directly triggered his underlying heart condition. At that moment, their daughter got into a conflict with the neighbor's boy, so the woman took advantage of the situation and called her husband, wanting to test whether he had fallen ill. And just as she expected, her husband tried his best to answer the phone, but in the end, he was still a step too late. At this point, the woman knew something had happened to her husband, so she took her daughter and went back upstairs. Unexpectedly, they ran into the male neighbor from across the hall.
Uncle, when will you take me to play again?
Meow meow, Uncle still has to work, right?
Yeah, isn't that right?
Uncle, come play with me!
However, all of this was actually part of the woman's plan. She wanted the man to go upstairs with her to serve as her witness. But just when she thought everything was flawless, unexpectedly, her husband had already prepared for what would happen today. In the final moments of his life, he used all his strength to move the ring from his ring finger to his index finger, because this was a signal he had agreed upon with someone.